Hello everybody, it's KingK57 or KC57 and welcome back to another, what is it called? Game Strategies. Yes, that's what it's called. I am here, playing, what's it called? Mind Strike. I'm just like out of it today. I'm recording this really quickly because this is a game that I've played for almost the longest time possible. I played this on the Hypixel server. I have shot a total, or at least the last time I checked my stats online, I had shot a total of 85,000 shots, so I think I'm pretty eligible to give you guys tips on how to do these things. My first tip is listen to the tips. As you can see down below here, I'm on the Mineplex server, so these are the tips. Use these tips. Crouching increases accuracy. Use that. Left click, drop grenade. You can use that if you know somebody is actually chasing you, okay? So that's one thing. But the first thing I want to point out is be the red team. So the red team, it is a statistical study that was done a little while ago, that the color red, if you're on the red team, you have a slight advantage over the blue team when playing games like this, because the red team is a very aggressive color and it makes you more aggressive. Now, that isn't true for every single game. Games that are strategy games, you want to be the blue team, because the blue team is definitely, it induces long-term thinking skills. So yes, that's the first thing. So if you're playing a game like a first-person shooter where you need to be aggressive, pick the red team, because you have a higher statistical chance, about a 0.3% chance higher. It isn't very big, but it's a chance. It's actually a little bit higher than that. I have no idea what the percent is, but it's somewhere around that. So basically, being the red team is a good idea. Now, if you have to, be the blue team, but it looks like I'm going to have to in this round because I'm in queue for the blue team. So, I'm 2 in queue for that. Okay. Well, I guess I'll be the red team, so... Oh, look at that guy. Have fun. Okay. So, I may have to switch lobbies here, but you'll know, because you'll see a jump cut. But anyway, so... Basically, it's on these types of things, listen for the actual tips. So jumping massively decreases accuracy. If you know you have a very inaccurate gun, I would suggest using it as a long-range gun, actually. I would, in fact, recommend doing that. And the reason for that is basically because you can crouch, you can take off enemies, and doing things like that. I also want to do something else. There's the first round in the game. So in this type of game, which is Cops and Robbers on the Mineplex server, I'll leave a link down below to their server if you want to come check it out, which I'm pretty sure all of you have been on this server. But if you haven't, I'll leave it down below. But anyway, so looks like we're starting now, and I'm going to have to talk about the pistol round, which is what we call the first round, which is where the only thing you can afford is a pistol. You have many options. You can go a slightly higher pistol and some head armor. I would suggest doing this. I would not suggest going straight for a Desert Eagle and no armor, because armor goes a long way and a lot longer than getting some lucky shots, because if you're not a very good shot, then what's a better gun going to do for you? And to be honest, I'm not a very good shot as well. Also, another thing is know your maps. Know your maps very well. Know where they're attacking from. Like, as you can see here, I can take down these guys because I know that they are coming from this direction. And this is the bridge inside the... And these are all based on Counter-Strike maps. So remember that. If you know the game Counter-Strike, you know this game. So don't be afraid. Also, check corners. You do not want people sneaking up behind you. That is always a terrible way to go. But another thing, have hitboxes on. If you don't know how to do hitboxes, actually, it's F3 plus B. Press those two buttons together, and you'll be... And I died. Dang it. Okay. Yeah, and you'll actually see the hitboxes. So F3 and B, I can now turn off hitboxes, and I turn them back on. Have those on, because that's a target you're going to be aiming for. And another thing, in the pistol round, or just in guns in general, silence is an incredible weapon. As you just saw, I was killed because I was talking, and I couldn't hear his gun. Silence is a very good weapon, but if you must, you know, I mean, all weapons are loud except for the first starting pistol. So just keep that in mind. But another thing, don't have these particles on. That guy, if he were to run around a corner while I'm looking for somebody and his particles are still there, I'm going to find him and I'm going to trace him down and I'm going to win. Okay? And also, drop down. If you think you're going to lose in a situation, back out of the situation. Just like I just did, okay? I'm now living. I got a kill and I got out of there. That's the important thing. Another thing, learn to lock onto your enemies. Locking onto your enemies is a very good thing, and we just... Dang it, he got me. Okay. So, another thing is, when you have guns like that, having the first shot off in a round is an incredibly powerful thing. Getting the first shot off will help you win the game, because it is a seriously helpful thing if you can get the first shot off. Another thing is, you just saw some lag there. Lag is very bad. If you have a very bad internet, you may want to learn when lag spikes are coming, or at least, you know, how bad it is, so that you can learn to aim ahead of people. And another thing, aim ahead of people anyway. So when we play again, and I'm following this guy just to show you as an example, I'm gonna see how good he is right now. But as you can see, he just got the first shot off. He did just give away his position. So do be sure that that when you're doing that type of stuff like he did, he was crouching, which is a good idea, because crouching means you have more accuracy, which means you have the better chance of getting the first shot off and them not turning around and killing you. So it looks like the bomb is about to be defused. As you can see, bomb kills are an incredibly important thing. Make sure you are actually going to kill them and that they aren't going to kill you, because that would be bad. I have done that once or twice where I actually shoot, I miss, they hear it, they turn around, and they kill me. Body armor is very important. Head armor, you can live without head armor, but head armor is definitely a very important part of the actual outfit. Make sure you have quick access to both your secondary and your primary and your secondary, because having access to your secondary very quickly can save you a lot during a round. Also know that people are coming in through here. Do not charge through an area that you know people are prone to be in. Let other people go first, because I know that sounds bad, you know, using other people as body armor, but it's the truth. Okay, if you want to live, well then you're gonna have to use some people as body armor. No, I'm stuttering today. Sorry about that. I don't usually do this. I don't usually stutter, but for some reason I am today. So another thing, get other people's guns if you must, if you can. Dang it, he stole the gun. Okay, get the gun. So as you can see, he's here. Boom, got him. Okay, another thing, getting the first shot off and knowing people are weak are an incredibly important thing inside a game like this. So and another thing, when you have a fast gun, you need to know that if you're going to win against a guy who has a better gun that is slightly slower, what you need to do is you need to lock onto him. Because if you can lock onto him while he's moving, that's gonna show you the win, because you're gonna be firing many bullets that are slightly weaker, but a lot more of them into the guy. So practice locking onto people. Like even now, like practice locking. Like pick a teammate and just like lock onto him. Another thing, account for gravity. In this game, you can see the bullets, which is very useful. I'll just fire a shot off here, as you can see. But you need to account for gravity. And you also need to account for the time it takes for the bullet to leave your gun and the bullet to actually hit the person. So if you're trying to hit somebody very far away, I would suggest moving your gun slightly across to the person's actual, before them. Just like this, and there we go. So I had to aim aim on top of him to actually get a body shot. I had to aim for his head. Another thing, know when people are coming in. Know when people are supposed to come in, because that can save you a lot. Another thing, don't jump in front of people. That's what I was about to say. Don't jump in front of an area where people could be in trying to get a gun. But again, getting guns is very important, because that is another thing. Get guns, because getting a gun is very good. When you have a gun like that, the P90 specifically, that doesn't have a lot of ammo with it. It only has 3 clips. So once you know you've used that, you need to look around and find the next best gun, throw your gun away, and, take up another gun. You do not want to be caught in the middle of a firefight to realize that you have to use your secondary because your primary is out of bullets. But here's another situation. What do you do when the person has the first shot off? Well, you need to get the next shot off. You need to hide, just like he did, but you need to hide and get the next shot off first. Or that next shot that you're going to take, you need to get it first. Don't let them actually kill you. So hide, probably think about what they're going to do for a second, be rational, about what you're doing, and try and act accordingly. Another thing, as you can see, I bought the shotgun. being good, practicing at a weapon that is not your primary weapon that you're good with, and that is much cheaper than the primary weapon that you're good with, is a good idea. Because it means that in situations where your team is losing and you do not have a lot of money to spare, yeah, it's a good idea to always have that. And as you can see here, as you just saw there, I'll probably point it out in the video, but basically, I just saw, look at that, I can see the hitbox of that guy, he's right there. And I can tell where he is before he even comes at me. So, that's a good idea. You can actually get a lot of, when somebody's right here, around the corner, and their little, that blue symbol, what is it, corresponds to their actual eye level. So, know that that is somebody. It also works for pictures, so just know that if it's perfectly straight, it's just a picture. But as you can see here, if he were to sit right here, his eye level would be sticking out. I don't have one, but basically it would be sticking out, and you would be able to tell where he is. So that is something that is very useful about the hitboxes, that you can tell when people are around corners and camping and waiting for you. Because that is always annoying when you walk straight around a corner and bang, you're dead. So, yes. Another thing, when you're on the Hypixel server playing this game, which is what I prefer to do, but this one has a little bit more strategy to it, upgrade your weapons. Upgrade your weapons. Upgrades are incredibly important. Another thing, counteract your weapon's actual, recoil to the actual person. So if you start shooting at, let's say, this point in the wall, when you start shooting, you need to start aiming down slowly till you're about here, if he's a reasonable distance away, because that's when you're actually going to still be aiming for that, okay? So remember that. Oh, also, be alert. Practice actually, seeing more people than once, looking at more people. Don't charge into areas. Like, these two areas are known to be infested with people. Do not charge them unless you see other people charging them. And that guy just died, so I'm not going to charge there. I didn't even have to look around the corner, but I knew there was a guy there. That is a very important thing. I also know that there is a guy still there, so I suggest guarding this and every once in a while poking your head out, checking it. Another thing you can do is, I need to get down here, so I can, of course, jump down and come over here, so that's always good. I have a lot to say in this, if you can't tell. I have a lot to say in this. I know it's not organized or anything, but I have a lot. Here's something. When you have the bomb, play it careful. You need armor, and a gun is your secondary thing, okay? A good gun is your secondary thing. To have a good offense, you need a good defense, because you need to be able to live. Another thing, when you're going, you need to be incredibly careful. Just like that. I know he's there, so I'm going to throw a bomb. And I'm going to throw a flash grenade, just to make sure that they're blinded, so that I can get over there very, very quickly. And as you can see, he just took them out, which leaves me an open spot for A. So always go for the quickest and easiest route to the bomb site. Remember in these games that style does not matter. So getting stuff like headshots and, going the wrong way on purpose, or, showing off in any sort of way is a bad idea. Dang it, he came up right behind me. I know I'm not doing so well in this game, but, I'm mediocre at this. So, yeah. But anyway, so planting the bomb is something important, because if you die with the bomb on you, there's your chances of actually replanting that bomb are incredibly slim. Having the chance to actually replant that bomb, somebody finding it and actually planting it in the time they're given, seriously, it's tiny. So planting the bomb is first above all else when you have the bomb, okay? So if you have the bomb, the first thing you need to do is plant it. Realize where people are as well. Try and guess where they are. If you know somebody has a sniper and they're poking around the corner, wait for a second until they're actually, not poking around the corner, and then you need to get them, because you need to get the first shot off when they have a sniper. I'm actually going to do sniper right now because I have enough money. But here's the thing. When you have sniper, flash grenade, that is the most important grenade of them all to exist. So remember that, okay? So having a flash grenade, if you can blind your enemy and get them to walk back slowly and to go across your crosshair, That's a good idea. Another thing, when you're actually sniping, here's a tip. So when you're doing this, don't try and, you know, follow them with your mouse. Just line up the actual crosshair with their body and wait for them to cross your crosshair, and then fire. So when you're sniping, do that, definitely. I can't zoom in right now, but yeah. Here we go. So nope, I'm reloading. Okay. Oh yeah, that's right, it's shift in this game. Okay, here we go. I couldn't remember. I've been playing Hypixel way too much, but anyway. So let's get out our flashbang and let's fire it. It looks like he's in there, nobody's trying to kill him, and I just grenaded myself. There's something you should never do. Stare at your own grenade, your own flashbang, because that is what causes the actual blindness, staring at it. So try not to stare at your own grenades, because it generally doesn't end up too well for yourself. So here we go, that's the end of the game. I really don't have very much else to say, so I'm sorry this video was short and it was sort of just rapid fire, but take everything sort of, you know, logically that I just said, and I just dropped the bomb. I don't think that was supposed to happen. But anyway, so that is all I got time for today. I will thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye. Look, I actually do have a little line, my eye line, which when I'm not crouched is where my eyes are, but when I am, it's in my head, because that's where my eyes are to the game. You ever notice that? Weird. I'm gonna stop talking now. Goodbye.